Hey, hello everybody. Sorry, I'm just getting organised still. Just bear with us. I'm just airdropping something to myself, which we'll need soon. Let me just get that a bit smaller just now. Oh, sorry. Damn it. God, more fingers and thumbs. Airdrop. Okay. How is everybody? Oh, it's been a crazy mental day for me. Hope yours has been a bit easier and calmer. Okay, we'll get to those in a bit. Right, okay. So this is your education session, as you know. Every Tuesday's Mindset, every Wednesday's Education. And I'm really bringing real life context to the subject and the topic of optimal health, because you can't achieve optimal health without data and without facts, or else it's guesswork. So we're digging into every single month. We'll unpack a different topic, and there's going to be so many, and that's why every single FLB is going to be so different. Because every single month you're like, I can't talk to you about a blood lab report in 1 month. I just can't do it. That takes months. So it'll be drip feeds, and you'll start to build up this real amazing picture of what you could be asking your doctor about, what conversations you could be holding with your doctor, what you could be looking at. And that's really, really powerful. In fact, that's life changing when you can have conversations with your doctor about your own health. An informed conversation, not a like scratch your head and hand your hand out for the medicine to be handed to you. An actual proper conversation, which is empowering in itself, all by itself. It's empowering. And I was looking for something to let you hear a bit of context, which I'll put this on in a second. But last week I chatted through with you what inflammation in general terms is, what it looks like, the reactions it has in the body, and the fact that inflammation could lead and does lead to lots of life-threatening illnesses and conditions. But we don't give it the time and attention and value that we should. And we overlook it. And we overlook it because we're not informed enough. Nobody teaches you this. Nobody anywhere teaches you this. In fact, when you go to your doctors and get your blood lab reports, your doctor won't sit you down with this. One, they don't have the time, which is fine, I get that. But two, it's not in anybody's interest to have you informed. Because when you're ill-informed or misinformed or not informed at all, you can be controlled and manipulated in a way. And not outwardly, but societally, you could be manipulated. So you'd end up pretty ignorant to so many things, but it isn't your fault. It's the system's fault, and the system has got you in a place where you don't know nothing. Well, in general, I don't mean you don't know nothing. Of course you do. You're very intelligent people, but you don't know what you need to know about your health and your wellness and optimising that. And so you are in the dark a lot of the time. And I don't want that for you, which is why these lives are so important and you cannot miss them and you need to be on them. And if you can't be on them live, you need to watch them back as soon as you can. So last week we covered inflammation, and this week is like a part 2. This is when I'm going to bring it to life. I'm going to discuss what causes it, what you can do about it, and share my blood lab report with you in terms of the inflammation marker. Now this is going to be useful for you because you're going to get this on your blood lab report and you're going to have something to go on. Right? So let me actually find something else. Just bear with us. Again, this is live, so it's live TV. Okay. Hold on a wee second. Sorry. Right, let me try and share this. It's a bit small. Hold on. There we go, there's one. Sorry, I'm just looking for a really good visual that demonstrates the levels for you, or the data, the norms that you'll be compared to, okay? Right, I'm going to share this as well. Again, honestly, it's invaluable, this content. Absolutely everybody should be on Feel Look Be. They really should. Okay, right, let me put this into context for you and listen to Dr. I can't get my words out tonight, Dr. Robert Lustig. Now just listen. I'm just going to play it from my phone just so it's nice and easy.
So one question that I had, going back to what you said about inflammation and being inflamed, we all know that, inflammation leads to chronic diseases and, so many problems down the line. Why do you think Americans are so inflamed, and how do we stop, kind of curb those mechanisms?
Right. Why does everyone have some degree of inflammation today? This didn't used to be the case. And we can prove that, inflammation's gone up because all you have to do is look at high sensitivity C-reactive protein in the population, and it's higher than it used to be. And also, we see the food allergy, pandemic, and we also see the autoimmune disease pandemic. Those are manifestations of the degree of increased inflammation in the society.
Now, one question that
So that's just to let you hear a doctor talk about inflammation in his own context and in response to the question that he was asked, why are so many Americans inflamed? And I've got my own list here. After all the research and all the, you're talking, it's now 28 years of being in this industry, of being completely, certainly the last 15 years, immersed in the science of it and the education and the learning, and it's so valuable. And I'm so glad I went into this field because I'm actually learning on my own self, my own body, but I'm also able to help you and yours. So if there's something to learn about and something to get obsessed about, surely it should be, or potentially could be, your health. I think so anyway. So the marker, the blood test marker in the body that he's just said, Dr. Robert Lustig, is C-reactive protein. And it's a protein that's made in the liver, and it's found in the body in higher quantities, for want of a better word, when you're inflamed. Lower C-reactive protein is more favourable, but higher is not favourable at all. And in fact, C-reactive protein is a better indicator of cardiovascular disease and vascular disease, full stop, than cholesterol. So when you get your blood test taken, and I'll show you mine in a minute, you will have a C-reactive protein, CRP, value. And I'm going to explain to you what that looks like. I'm going to show you it from Randox's point of view. That's the laboratory that spun down my blood via Kate Nowler. So yeah, so the things that cause it, the things that cause inflammation, are all the things that you are not eating on my meal plan. It's a very low, zero inflammatory meal plan. If you've got food allergies, so say you're allergic to peppers or tomatoes or something, obviously you're going to get inflammation from that. But generally speaking, our meal plans are so anti-inflammatory, it's unbelievable. They're like an antioxidant, really. So gluten. Gluten is the protein that's found in grain that really causes high levels of inflammation, and you'll know that. But if people go, okay, I'm going gluten-free, and they go gluten-free, but they choose food that's gluten-free that's actually full of all the other crap. Gluten-free cakes, gluten-free pasta, gluten-free bread, it's still full of crap. So just because there's no gluten in there doesn't mean it's good. Much the opposite. And a lot of vegans actually, and a lot of vegetarians, choose foods that are really full. I'm making generalisations here, not every vegan and not every vegetarian, but so many veggies that I know eat terribly, because the food that they do eat, there's no meat in there, there's no animal products mostly, but it's full of crap. Sugars, bulkers, binding agents, emulsifiers, things that tear up your gut, cause leaky gut, will promote SIBO, will promote bad bacterial overgrowth. That's not what you want. You want to optimise your health. It's great not eating meat, and I would do the same if it landed well with me in terms of my health, but it doesn't. And I'm all for that, actually. But when you're eating crap to offset that, you've got to maximise and optimise your time and your investment in your health, surely. Of course you do. Insulin, too much insulin will also cause your inflammatory marker to be really, really high. Sugar, processed food, carbohydrates, alcohols, regular snacking, so constantly grazing, looking for stuff the whole time, that's going to cause massive amounts of inflammation. Also infections, and if there's been some sort of something that you've had, like a virus or an infection or a bacterial thing, then that could cause inflammation also. Cancer is inflammation hotspots, which I've talked about many times, and cancer feeds on like sugary based environments. So the wrong thing to do would be to have a high carbohydrate based diet if cancer was an issue for you and it was, if you had a diagnosis. So we know all of that. We definitely do know all of that, and I've spoken about that for years and years and years and years. You get that, and if you're new to this, you've probably heard that. But what do you do about it? One, you eat Shelley Booth's meal plans. That's what you do. You absolutely should. But also other things that you could do is vitamin C, but vitamin C through the vegetables that you eat. A lot of people that are very inflamed don't eat a lot of veg. Now, you need between 7 and 10 grams of veg every single day to try and help your liver cleanse and support your body. But in terms of things like vitamin C, it's in the best form through vegetables and not through a supplement. Fasting is also really good because fasting will bring the insulin down. Now fasting, I want to talk to you about fasting tonight. Fasting is a period of eating and not eating, and it's so beneficial. In fact, I'll share something on the page over the course of today and tomorrow about fasting. A couple of YouTube videos that you might want to go and watch. Fasting really is not calorie restriction, it's just giving your body time to cleanse and replenish and regrow and resynthesize in the absence of food, and that's all it is. Because in the absence of food, you've still got plenty of calories in there. You've got thousands and thousands and thousands of calories stored up in your fat. And then you've got organ fat, probably fatty liver, if you're carrying too much weight. So you've got all that calorie reserve. You don't need to worry about calories. You're not going to collapse and die unless you've got a medical problem. Perhaps. Not all the time. Perhaps. You need to cover all the bases here. So in the absence of food, your body utilises and uses your body's natural recycling system. And it's called autophagy. And what autophagy will do is it will help. Well, it's very, very anti-aging for a start. It will use body fat as fuel and utilise ketones for energy, which is amazing. It will make you switch to a fat burner as opposed to a sugar burner, a very dirty sugar burner. You don't want to burn sugar for fuel, you want to burn fat. Dietary fat and body fat. It's really great for your brain, it's great for the whole endocrine system actually. Really benefits from our meal plans because there's good fats, good protein, lots of fibre. Remember, and in fact Dr. Lustig again said, I shared this months and months ago, but it was really great actually, and since that I've kept it in my mind. If you don't feed the gut will feed on you. And you need to feed your gut fibre, or else the bad bacteria in the absence of fibre will eat the mucin layer of the gut wall, if you like, and it will be permeable and things will get through there and it will become leaky. because that layer has been eaten by the bad bacteria that are taking over, because they don't have fibre. It's fibre that they feed on. So eat the fibre, keep them happy, the mucin layer is protected, no leaky gut. But because of all the crap food, refined carbohydrates, all the crap that's in the supermarkets that people eat all day, every day, no wonder they've got really poor gut health, and therefore they've got brain, what can we call it, brain effects, mind effects, including depression, anxiety, like maybe even panic attacks, ADHD, all of these kind of things. That is so intimately related, closely, very, very closely with nutrition and what you eat. Of course it does, of course it is. So make the connection, make the distinction, and take it for granted. You eat shit, you're going to feel like shit, mind and body. Fish oils. A good quality fish oil is very, very anti-inflammatory. Now, don't buy your fish oils from Asda and Tesco and all that shit. Buy good quality. Get yourself on and do your research. From wild caught fish, omega-6 or cod liver oil or something like that. Coenzyme 10 is also very good and very anti-inflammatory. Stinging nettle root is really great and it will help the liver also. And vitamin K2. Now, vitamin K2, and I've got nettle leaf in one of my supplements, but I've also got K2 in one of my supplements. So K2 obviously helps take calcium out of where you don't want it, i.e. arteries, and push it into the places that you do want it. For example, bones. You can get, and I'm actually going for one actually, it's a coronary artery calcium score. CAC. Coronary artery calcium, coronary artery calcium test score, and it's basically to ascertain what's going on in your arteries. And again, as data, hugely valuable. I will need to go private for that, but it's worth all day, every day the investment. We've got heart disease in our family, so I'd like to know if there's a predisposition for me, and also Leo. So that's C-reactive protein. Okay, now I'm going to share with you my blood test here, but let's look at this. I'll blow this right up so you can see it. This is less than 10 is the healthy range. Let me go over here. The yellow here, between 10 and 20, it's elevated, so potentially a concern. Between 20 and 50, this big band of orange, dangerous levels. You don't want to be there. And 50 plus, severe elevation. That's like, get something done and quick sort of thing. So that's milligrams per deciliter. So bear that in mind. But the great thing is about Randox is they make their, they give you a visual. And once you get your bloods done from, for example, okay, or you can go straight to Randox actually. This was mine. So the value that they've got here is 5 as the range, and mine's is 0.30, so it's milligrams per litre, so that's slightly different. Okay, so that's probably not the best to show you, although it makes sense to me, but this one will definitely make sense to you because it's very, very visual. In fact, I'll come over here. So this is C-reactive protein. Less than 5 is optimal. Above 5, remember this is milligrams per litre, not deciliter, so it's slightly different to what I showed you before. This is absolutely fantastically optimal. I'm at the other scale, so I'm nowhere near the high. I'm at the other scale, the sliding scale of optimal, which I'm absolutely delighted with, obviously. But when you consider what my diet is and how I live my life, and the fact that I don't smoke, I don't drink much alcohol. Occasionally I drink alcohol, but it's never like I used to be. I used to kick the arse out of it, and you know, I'd be pissed on a night out and stuff like that. I don't do that anymore. Like, you're lucky if I don't know, 3 drinks, 4 drinks would be more than enough for me. But I've not had 3 or 4 drinks for a long time. 1, 2 max, and I can't even finish it, to be honest. It's probably the age I'm at. I'm just not bothered about alcohol. I like to have a wee beer now and again, or a wee toast to something, or even last night, I says, let's try a wee bottle of wine. And I took that much out of it. I was like, nah. I like the idea of it, but nah. Red wine, just for the polyphenols. Anyway, so C-reactive protein. So when you get your blood lab report back and you get your CRP reading, you'll be able to know now, less than 5. Some clinics, like Randox, some of them are slightly different and use slightly different measurements, like the measuring stick is a little bit different, but nothing way out of range from each other. They're all sort of in and around a similar range. So that's amazing. Absolutely chuffed with that, and why wouldn't it be? But it's my commitment. I go back to that again. It's my commitment to my nutrition, to my training, to my mindset, to doing all the things that I do with you live on Feel Look Be. And if you done it, and if you went all in, you'd get results like this as well. And I'm sure there's lots of you with really good results because you've been with me for a while, but there's lots of you that won't have such good results. But you could change it. And it's in the palm of your hands to change it. And all you need to do is show up and commit, and that is it. Show up and commit, and it's job done. Do as I'm asking you to do. You've seen the research, the data, the experts. I'm really, really good at bringing you stuff, but making it really simple at the same time. I don't give you jargon, I don't give you stuff that's going to baffle you and you go, oh, I'm not interested. I give you stuff that's really listenable and wee bite-sized chunks that you can get to go away and do your own research. That's the beauty of Feel Look Be. It's everything is simplified so as you get it and you understand that you can use it. But I'm not just saying this for the good of my health, I'm saying it for yours. And it's absolutely wasted if you're not going to use it. So I suggest you all get your blood test done and you get close to the data. It's invaluable. Instead of the guesswork, well, I feel great. It's fine if you feel great, but I would encourage you to really find out. Okay? Right, I hope that was a useful session for you. I'm sure it was. It's a shame I can't see any of your comments, but that's just the way Facebook have made it just now. I'm sure it'll change in the future. If I do go on to the page, no, can't even see anybody that's on. Okay, right, lots of love to you. Tomorrow I see you at 7 p.m. for a strength workout. This morning's workout, I love the jumpy workouts. I love them, probably love them because I wouldn't do them on my own like you. I wouldn't go at the gym and jump about like a daft arse. I just wouldn't do it. So we can do it together, and it's so beneficial at helping you get your bones strong. And right now, you should all be concerned with that. Everything we are doing is for longevity, for health, for optimal health. It's not just about looking good. That's a byproduct. It's not just about seeing your muscles and feeling great and blah, blah, blah. Actually, tonight I sent you an email, and forgive me for coming across as a bit arsey. That is not me. I am not that way. But to get people to open an email, I thought I'm going to try this. And I said, have you seen my abs? Tonight I'm talking about peptide stacks, and that's fine. But yesterday or the day before it was, have you seen my abs? I never do that. Never. So don't judge me on that. It's to get people to stop and listen and go, ah, right, okay. That's interesting. Sometimes it takes that wee sort of shock factor. None of that stuff ever comes out my mouth. That's not who I am. So if you're reading it thinking, what's she on? She had a couple of bevies. No, I just wanted you to read your email, that was all. So, May Day, Feel Look Be May launches, which I thought was the 1st of May. It's not the 1st of May, Shelley. It's like the 3rd or the 4th. But we launch on May Day, which isn't the 1st of May. So go and get yourself signed up. Keep learning, keep growing, keep evolving, and keep working towards optimal health. Doesn't come in a month. You can't get it in a month. Okay? Lots of love to you. I'll see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. I have done about 35,000 steps today, would you believe? I'm walking more than I'm tired. You can tell I'm tired. I'm walking more than I've ever walked with my 2 new dogs, and I'm loving it because it's building their trust and confidence in the world. But I'm all walked out like. So good night. See you tomorrow.